transition over to the financial statement analysis, right? So financial statement analysis. There have been a couple of questions on this. It's a little frustrating, and I can understand how. Some of the data is hard to work through. So I already did a video on this first question, right? Showed you how to work through this one. Now this one, it gives you the interest expense because the interest expense isn't expressly listed within Apple's financial statements. All right, so I worked through this one with you. You should be able to do this just fine. Now, the next two, all right, they give you the data, and now you just have to do the calculation. And remember, and I'm just going to take one, okay, and you guys can do the rest. I'll just take the whole thing and I'll do the calculation for just one. So remember, let me paste this in here first. Oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? That was kind of lousy. Maybe because I didn't get all the way up here. If this doesn't work, then I'll just do it. Oh, it works when you just paste it instead of paste values. Okay, so remember, numerator. What's our numerator? And what's our denominator? Denominator. Okay, our numerator on times interest times interest earned. Okay, numerator is going to be net equals net income before taxes and interest. Didn't like that, did it? That's because I did equals. I'm just going to do a little, there we go. And our denominator is interest expense. Super easy, right? Okay, so I'm going to take this last one right here, numerator. So I'm going to take the income, I'm going to add back in income taxes, and I'm going to add back in the interest expense. That's my numerator. My denominator is going to be the interest expense. That's easy. So this should be, if I take that divided by this, the answer, 195. And because I don't want to show you all the answers, then you just kind of cruise through this. I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm going to double check my answer without you seeing it. And it is 195.76. And the answer is, for Google, 195.76. If I take it to the second decimal point, hundreds. Okay, so that's your calculation. Now let me bring this back over here, if I can, for a second. Okay, so that's your calculation. I copied this, pasted it, did a formula. You can copy that formula for every single one of these, and you'll be done. All right. The question number 3 is going to set up the same exact information, but this is in won, right? Or is in Korean. I don't know what Korean is. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is. It's numbers. So you're going to do the exact same thing. You have net income before taxes and interest expense. So you're going to take 44 million plus the 16 million plus the 0.7 million. That's going to be your numerator. And then you're going to take your denominator and you can divide it into it. And boom, you're going to have the same information. So you can take this whole thing, copy it. Let's start over here. This whole thing, you can copy it, drop it into a sheet. That didn't work. Why isn't it working sometimes and others it's not? Yeah, it did not work. That is interesting. Let's try this one all the way from the top down. There we go. So now when I take it, let's take these little values out of here because it doesn't like those, I'm sure. And so we'll make sure that it's the actual number instead of some other thing. But if I take this, my numerator is going to be net income plus income taxes plus interest expense. This is my numerator. Call this EBIT, just earnings before interest and taxes. It's not EBITDA, just EBIT. And then we have interest expense, right? That's going to be that number. And our times interest earned, let's call it tie ratio for lack of a better word. No, we got our numerator divided by our denominator, and bam, that should be it. Let me just double check that I didn't screw things up. And I am right. Take this to the second digit, hundreds. Oops, hundreds. There we go. You do the same calculation for everyone and you'll get the answer that you need. Okay, so that should help you out there. All right. Let me pull this back over, but with the answers hidden. Okay, there we go. So that's what we got there. Now, let me see what else we got. We wanted to review the assignments. Exam 4. I do have another 10 minutes or so. Let's see if I can